you are always amongst the top. If you believe that you can start your own business, try and engage those institutions, because when I was president of business in South Africa, and in fact, even as a young boy, the biggest problem, the single biggest problem for young entrepreneurs when they want to start a new business is access to finance. Access to finance. And when they get the finance, historically the interest rates were excessive. So you spend the rest of your life paying off the loan, but you can never really pay it off so that you are the owner of the business. So in conclusion, I absolutely have no doubt whatsoever, no doubt, that many of these young people in this room, and just understand that this is not a sprint, this is not a short-term race that we are busy with. This is a long-term process, journey. It's a marathon. And you hear this all the time, but it is absolutely correct. Keep working hard, keep believing in your capacity to realize your career objectives, to become an employer, to become an entrepreneur. Keep at it. There will be moments of difficulties. In fact, there'll be moments of failure.
Yeah.
When you ask yourself, I mean, when I started my businesses, we bought mines that everybody said, but I mean, how can this guy buy mines that are unprofitable, that are marginal, that are old, that are being closed? And the president of the mine workers, they had about 350,000 workers at the time. He was a very good friend. He then went and in the newspapers, the headline of the newspapers, I know because Pressure showed me, the headline of the papers were, Patrice Motsepe buys dead dogs. Dead dogs. And but we knew what we were doing. We knew that we had a method of running this business at the heart of which was a partnership with the workers. And we could not pay them what the big mining companies were paying them. We were paying them a little bit less, but we guarantee them, assure them, that based on profitability, they would share in the profits and they would make more money than what they earned previously. So in conclusion, there are times when you are trying to start a business or pursue a career and you are starting it and it's failing. Or not only is it failing, many people around you and people who care for you say, but this thing is going nowhere. You shouldn't do that. Because others tried it and it didn't succeed. My message is keep looking at it, persevere, because the world is full of exceptionally successful people who, despite problems and difficulties and failures, kept at it and succeeded over time. So I'm absolutely confident that keep hope alive, be optimistic, stay positive, believe in yourself, and believe in the capacity of what you are pursuing and the potential for what you're pursuing to succeed.
Fantastic. My parting shot, Chairman, because I know that we are kind of tapering towards our time allocation. I'd like to get your take on what you think about the inflection point that we're at now, technologically speaking.
You mean
I'm talking
Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs, Mamelodi Sundowns?
Not that inflection point, no.
Oh, okay. I told you, they will all
I'm not as
win.
qualfied as you to comment on that.
They'll all win. We love them all.
I wouldn't venture an opinion. But, we're at the advent of 4IR, AI, machine learning, cognitive robotics, automation, blockchain, all of these things that are happening. In your purview, is there an opportunity for Africa to leapfrog here?
This is a critical point that you raise. Sometimes you can get overwhelmed in terms of where the world is and where the world is going and what you should do, how you should position yourself. I want to leave this meeting with maybe two messages. Number one is the impact of technology on the way we live, on the way we work, on the way that we conduct our businesses and operate our businesses is astronomical. And the best tool, the best message, the best advice, and I think it's more than a message and an advice, it's the issue of we have to provide the infrastructure, the resources to allow every single young person to acquire technological skills, to get exposed to what is called the fourth industrial revolution. Because, I tell you, every time I go to Silicon Valley, every time I go to America, and every time I go to other parts of the world to see how technology, Dr. Precious is working on, there's a partnership between the Motsepe Foundation and the Milken Institute. And this is one of the most successful entrepreneurs in America. But at the heart of that is to use technology, and the first project was, it's technology and entrepreneurship. And by using technology, how can we increase productivity in agriculture? How can we use technology to make businesses more profitable and more productive? How can we use technology to provide greater access to education with COVID-19? How can we use technology to provide better quality health services, health infrastructure? How can we use technology in the context of the migration of hundreds of millions of people worldwide from the rural areas to the urban centers? 10, 15, 20 years from now, a disproportionate amount of the world population will be in the urban areas. And I think Africa will have maybe 20 to 30 of the largest urban centers in the world. So we have to teach our children at a very young age computer literacy and encourage them to focus on maths and science as well as technology and entrepreneurship. Now, the mistake the world does at times is they don't appreciate that the art is also critically important. To be a musician, to be an artist, to be a football player, to believe in painting. I mean, the next Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci is somewhere here. So we should encourage all of our young people to pursue the whole of the God-given talents, but the critical issues is the whole issue of the fourth industrial revolution. My consolation is there are people who are experts in artificial intelligence, robotics, Internet of Things, all of those different technologies of the fourth industrial revolution. They themselves at times emphasize that they are learning and that this is a process that is changing all the time. But the one thing that they accept is every country in the world, all of our young people must acquire technology skills, must be part of the fourth industrial revolution. It's a long-term learning process, and use those skills to develop themselves, to develop their countries, and to make South Africa the best place to live in the world.
Fantastic. On that note, I think we'll close it off. We've come to the end of our time. Thank you so much, Chairman, Dr. Patrice Motsepe. Please, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause.